case that I've chosen to share with you is the final one, is Matteo. So he is a very large Boerboel. When we met him, he was 20 months old and he weighed 64 kilograms. And his problem is cervical vertebral instability. And the reason I've chosen to share him is because surgery was not an option. And we have managed to keep him going without surgery. And he is now 5 years old. So when we met him, he had neurological deficits in all 4 of his limbs. We worked very closely with his owner, who is a medical practitioner. And she is completely dedicated to her dog and completely familiar with the role that physiotherapists play in the rehabilitation of humans. And therefore, she saw no reason why we couldn't do the same for her dog.
Hydro presents Matteo, a young 64-kilogram Boerboel diagnosed with cervical vertebral instability. At the initial consultation, you can appreciate the lack of confidence Matteo has when challenged with individual leg lifts. The pelvis drops when the right hind limb is lifted, followed by him moving into his safe position of a crouch, thereby lowering his center of gravity. Look also at the knuckling of the left front limb and the poor conscious proprioception of the right hind limb. When challenged with cavaletti rails, there is a general wobbliness in his gait. When he stops between the rails, his legs are beneath his body, especially the front legs, giving him improved stability in the face of his uncertainty regarding his hind legs. He also knocks the poles as he walks over them. In the next video of cavalettis, he is more balanced and easily able to step over the poles. And finally, the rails are moved very close together and are higher, and yet he negotiates them with ease. This is progress. When starting in the underwater treadmill, a towel was used to prevent Matteo from sinking down, but also to provide him with sensory input around his abdominal musculature. It was not possible to fit him with a pick-me-up harness or similar device. Here he has a very steady gait. Later, he showed a very long stride in his hind legs, and the hands on the stifle are there to guide the hind limbs into a more natural gait, so-called gait training. Again, a tap on the abdominals to remind Matteo to engage the abdominal muscles. Matteo was also challenged with weight bearing and weight shifting onto his rear legs. All exercises are progressive. Beginning with the stable surface and elevated front legs, we move to 2 stable surfaces with front and hind legs elevated. These exercises encourage engagement of core musculature. We then move to the bosu, an unstable surface. Once this has been mastered, then more advanced proprioceptive and balance exercises are begun. Side-stepping with his front legs on the bosu is performed in a clockwise and anti-clockwise direction. And I'm sure you can appreciate how difficult this is for Matteo. He is also asked to balance on a wobble board, and this is a good strengthening exercise as well as being positive for balance and posture. Matteo is then asked to combine his skills, steps, and a physio role, so awareness as well as balance and proprioception. After teaching Matteo to walk backwards, he is then asked to walk backwards and step up, another difficult exercise for him. Matteo's mom wanted to avoid surgery, and this we have achieved. What a wonderful, wonderful dog.